Welcome to the Week 16 playoff projections. I used my model to run over 1 million simulations of the remaining schedule to project every team's playoff probability, seeding, and first-round matchup. Let's start on the AFC side. I project the Kansas City Chiefs to be the 1 seed in the AFC. Andy Reid's team has a 2-game lead over the Bills, but Buffalo does hold the tiebreaker. Kansas City has consecutive short weeks while Patrick Mahomes is dealing with an ankle injury. It's conceivable that the Chiefs lose twice while the Bills win out, but it's not likely.
Start to turn this thing up! Start to turn this thing up!
I project the Buffalo Bills to be the 2 seed in the AFC. Josh Allen and the Bills' offense is red hot, scoring 30 points in 8 straight games. That's tied for the longest such streak in NFL history. The Bills' defense is banged up in the secondary and has allowed 40 points in consecutive games. They finished with 2 games against the Patriots and 1 against the Jets, so Sean McDermott's team should finish as a top 2 seed. I project the Baltimore Ravens to win the AFC North and be the 3 seed in the AFC. I project the Ravens to defeat the Steelers Saturday, which would make both teams 10-5.
Touchdown for the Ravens!
Pittsburgh would still lead the division for now, but they take on the Chiefs, who still need to win in Week 17. In the end, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens take the division and host a playoff game.
The Ravens win it in Week 15, 35-14 over the Giants.
I project the Houston Texans to be the 4 seed in the AFC. The Texans have clinched the AFC South for the 2nd straight season and have the opportunity to improve their seed with matchups against the Chiefs and Ravens in the next 2 weeks. I project them to lose both of those games, though, which is why they're slated as the 4 seed.
Let's go! Let's go!
I project the Pittsburgh Steelers to be the 5 seed and top wildcard in the AFC. The Steelers started a treacherous closing stretch with a loss in Philadelphia and gained only 163 total yards.
And the Eagles have recovered.
The offense lacks explosive playmakers without George Pickens, and that unit will need to improve if Mike Tomlin's team is going to make a playoff run. I project them to travel to Houston for a first-round matchup against C.J. Stroud and the Texans.
It's start to y'all, you know what I mean?
With their win on TNF, the Chargers are projected to be the 6th seed in the AFC. LA has all but clinched their spot in the playoffs with remaining games against the Patriots and Raiders.
That's dope. That's dope.
I have them traveling to Baltimore in Super Wildcard Weekend for another installment of the Harbaugh Bowl. What an awesome first-round matchup that would be.
Love you. Let's go.
I had the Denver Broncos projected to be the 7th seed in the AFC. Even after their loss on TNF, the Broncos are still in good position to make the playoffs. They simply need to win one of their final 2 games. Those games are against the Bengals and Chiefs, but the Chiefs may have home field advantage locked up prior to their Week 18 matchup. Sean Payton gets Denver in the playoffs in just his 2nd season on the job, and his reward is a trip to Western New York and a matchup against Josh Allen and the Bills.
There'll be a lot we have to learn from. We can never stop ascending here. Just focus on the next thing.
While the playoff percentages for these 7 teams are high, there are still 3 other AFC teams who are not yet eliminated. The Indianapolis Colts, Miami Dolphins, and Cincinnati Bengals all have less than a 15% chance of making the playoffs and likely need to win out to have any chance.
And intercepted.
Moving over to the NFC side. With the Lions' loss in Week 15, I now have the Philadelphia Eagles projected to be the top seed in the NFC. The Eagles got a huge win over the Steelers in Week 15 and finished with games against all 3 NFC East division opponents. If the seeding plays out the way I project, this Sunday in Washington will be the Eagles' last game away from home until a potential Super Bowl in New Orleans.
And the Philadelphia Eagles are now 12-2, a magnificent performance.
I have the Lions projected to win the NFC North and be the 2 seed in the conference. Dan Campbell's team is projected to win the division by the slimmest of margins, as the team, and especially the defense, are decimated with injuries. Detroit lost Aleem McNeil, Carlton Davis, and David Montgomery, likely for the season, during their Week 15 loss to Buffalo. That for a team already without Aiden Hutchinson, Derek Barnes, Alex Anzalone, and others.
I saw that one guy chasing me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go up and score.
After their huge win against the Chargers, I have the Buccaneers projected as the 3 seed in the NFC. Tampa has won 4 straight since their Week 11 bye after losing the 4 prior games. Todd Bowles' team ranks 9th in point differential this season and finishes with 3 winnable games against the Cowboys, Panthers, and Saints.
Touchdown Tampa Bay! Touchdown Tampa Bay Buccaneers!
I have the Seattle Seahawks projected to win the NFC West and finish as the 4 seed. After their loss to the Packers, Mike Macdonald's team has fallen out of first place, as the Rams currently hold the tiebreaker. Seattle hosts a Vikings team who's won 7 straight, but with finishing games against the Bears and those Rams, the Seahawks very much control their own destiny.
Stay locked to the end of the game. Stay locked in. Stay locked in.
I project the Minnesota Vikings to be the 5 seed in the NFC. Minnesota could easily finish as the number 1 seed in the NFC should they win out, but I have them projected to be the 5 seed and take 2 trips to Seattle over the next month.
Touchdown!
Kevin O'Connell's team may have the toughest 3-game stretch to end the season in the league, with games against the Seahawks, Packers, and Lions.
Who are we and what are we about? I would say right there, all right, is what this team is capable of doing.
The Green Bay Packers are my projected NFC 6 seed. Matt LaFleur's team all but punched their ticket on Sunday night with a big road win in Seattle. They would officially clinch with a win against the Saints in Week 16. Finishing in this spot would send them to Tampa in Super Wildcard Weekend for a matchup with the Buccaneers.
Romeo Dobbs would not be stopped.
I project the Washington Commanders to be the 7 seed in the NFC. The Commanders are just 1 game ahead of the Rams and Seahawks for the final NFC spot, but they're in a good spot as one of those teams will win the NFC West and the other will lose at least 1 more game considering those teams meet in Week 18. Washington doesn't have an easy end to the season, but they should do enough against the Eagles, Falcons, and Cowboys to make the field and set up a battle at Ford Field with the Lions. There are 3 NFC teams currently in contention that I have projected to miss the tournament. I have the Rams as the odd team out in the NFC. They still have a 50% chance to make the playoffs, but most of that is tied to their chances to win the NFC West. If they don't win the division, it's going to be hard for them to get the final wildcard spot. Raheem Morris made a huge move this week by benching Kirk Cousins and announcing rookie Michael Penix Jr. as the team's starting quarterback. Despite Atlanta's win Monday night, the Falcons haven't scored more than 21 points in any of their last 5 games. I have them with a 30% chance to make the playoffs, and Penix will need to provide a sizable spark for that to come to fruition.
Yeah, man, but I was at Costco.
The Arizona Cardinals have a 27% chance to make the playoffs. Jonathan Gannon's team will likely need to win out to have any chance to make the field. But with games remaining against the Panthers, Rams, and 49ers, that's not out of the question. And that is my playoff projections as we stand in Week 16.